Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishnah Sotah, Paragimel, Chapter 3, Mishnah Ches, Mishnah 8. Today's day of learning is sponsored in memory of Philip Berkowitz, Shraga Ben Yosef. This is sponsored by his grandson, Barry Steinberg. And also, today's day of learning is sponsored in memory of Barry's grandmother, Annie Berkowitz, Chanaleah Bas Avram Abba, the Neshama should have an aliyah.
Thank you.
Okay. The previous Mishnah had listed differences between a Kohen and the daughter of a Kohen, and now the Mishnah just continues a pattern of pointing out differences between a man and a woman. So, ma ben ish leisha, what differences are there between a man and a woman? The first thing mentioned is ish pareya ufeirim. That means, translated, a man lets his hair grow and tears his clothes. Veina isha paras ufeiremes, but a woman does not let her hair grow or tear her clothing. Now, this is referring to someone stricken with saras. Right? Saras is a skin condition, a skin disease, makes a person tameh. All the laws that are relevant to saras regarding the impurity, regarding what has to be done to identify that saras, after saras goes over, what you have to do in order to become pure again, that is all the same by a man and a woman. The difference is that the Torah says that someone who is stricken with saras, he has been confirmed that it's confirmed that he has saras, he has to let his hair grow and tear his clothing. That's how he remains while he is a mitzvah, while he has saras. That does not apply to women. This is again derived from the words of the Torah. Next, ha'ish mader es benoi benazer. A man can make a vow for his son to be a nazir. V'ne'isha maderes es bena benazer, but a woman cannot make a vow to make her son into a nazir. Now, what it means is like this. We know a nazir is someone that takes upon himself, has a vow, and again, both a man and woman can become a nazir. A woman be called a nazira. Their laws apply. No grape products. They let their hair grow. No coming impure from a dead body. All that applies to a man and a woman. The difference is the following. I'm going to read to you from the bottom how they explain it. If a father says to his young son under the age of 13, "You are hereby a nazir," or if he declares, "So-and-so my son is hereby a nazir," the son must observe all the laws of naziris. That's the way it is. However, if a woman vows that her son should be a nazir, the vow has no effect. That's again. This is this whole idea of that a father can make his son a nazir. I believe is halacha Moshe Sinai. There's no Torah source for it. It's halacha Moshe Sinai, and that halacha Moshe Sinai was only mentioned regarding a man, a father, not regarding a mother. Right? Kanura says that. This is halacha. There's no source for it in the Torah. Okay, next. So that's the second difference. The third difference. Hayish megaleach hanaziris aviv. A man, we'll just again translate the words. Can shave his head. Can shave his head over the naziris of his father. But a woman cannot cut her hair on the naziris of her father. That means like this. There was a nazir. He had designated animals for the sacrifices that he has to bring upon the conclusion of his naziris. He died before that took place. He has a son, and that son is already a nazir, or made himself a nazir after the father died. Now it's the son's turn. The naziris is completed. He has the set of sacrifices to bring. Can he use his father's sacrifices? Now, he's the heir of his father. Can he use those sacrifices? Again, they were designated for his father's use, not for his use. But can he use it for himself? And again, the halacha is that the nazir could use it for himself. But again, it only applies by a man, not by a woman. A woman who may even be the heir of her father. And she made herself a nazira. She cannot use those animals upon the completion of her naziris to fulfill her obligation of the sacrifices that she needs to bring. Next, ha'ish meicher es bitai v'ne'isha meicher es bita. A man can sell his daughter, but he cannot sell his, but a woman cannot sell her daughter. Now, there's halacha the Torah says, if you have a daughter, she's a minor, she's a kana, she's a minor, the father can sell her as a maidservant. There is a concept of amivri, of a Jewish maidservant, of a male servant. They are, I guess we would call them indentured servants. And this is something that a father can do. He can sell his daughter as that, but a woman cannot. Ha'ish mekadesh es bitoi, v'ni'ish mekadesh es bita. A man can marry, can be mekadesh, can betroth his daughter, while a woman cannot. This means these examples that we're bringing right now, these are all based on different the way we interpret, way we derive the laws from the Torah, and how there are the Torah itself shows us exclusions regarding a woman. That applies in this case by selling and applies by the Mekadesh. Now, Kedushin, as we know, is a stage before. There's two stages to a Jewish marriage. There's Kedushin, we call it betrothing, but it actually makes her, when you give, let's say, a ring, something of monetary value to a woman, and you say, with this, you should be Mukudeshes to me, betrothed to me, that means that she's your wife. If you decide, and if you decide that you don't want to marry her, you have to give her a get. But you cannot live as husband and wife until you do Nesuin, until you go to the chuppah. Now, Kedushin is something that we say the father can do for his daughter. That means to say that the halacha is that if the bride is a katana or a naira, that means she's under the age of 12 and a half, the groom must give the object to the father, whose acceptance of it makes the kedushin go into effect, and he can do that even without the daughter's knowledge. That he is the one who receives her kedushin. That is the power of the father. V'ne'ish mekadesh says bita, but a woman cannot do that for her daughter. Next, ha'ish niskal arim, v'no'ish niskalas aruma. If a man is stoned, he was liable for the capital punishment of stoning. When he is stoned, he is stoned aroim, unclothed. V'ne'ish niskalas aruma, but that is not so by a woman. If she commits some kind of a sin that she's deserving of stoning, she is not stoned unclothed. Ha'ish nitla v'no'isha nitles. A man is hung and a woman is not. That we actually have in this week's parsha. If a person, again, was stoned, after being stoned, he's hung up. He's hung on a gallows. That is done to a woman. Now, again, that's only done for a very short period of time. The Torah forbids that it should go into the night. And actually, I think, practically speaking, it was done for a very short time. But that is done to a man. It's not done to a woman. And the last thing mentioned is a man can be sold for stealing, but a woman is not sold for stealing. That means if someone steals an object and he cannot afford to pay, so the Beis in the rabbinical court has the power to sell him as a servant, as a what we call a Eved Ivri, a Jewish slave, a Jewish servant. The money that comes from that sale is used to pay for what was stolen, and that again is only done to a man, but it's not done to a woman for her stealing an object. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.
Thank you, Rabbi.